Shabbat Shalom Baruch and everyone. We are now at the part where we speak about the message. Thank you, Mauricio. It was a very good message. Some of it was a little bit hard to understand because you have only a little bit of an accent. But I know, but th- for me, there were two main areas that I see about how important it is. One of them is how much our emotions affect our health. It's interesting that I caught this terrible cold or this flu or whatever it was, but it happened immediately after I had an appointment, a first appointment with a homeopath. And a homeopath is someone who deals with the root causes of our illnesses, which she believes comes from um, it's the idea that um, we hold our emotions in our bodies, and when we bury them, they come out in disease and illness. And immediate and I had it for me, even though I thought I had dealt with a lot of things that I had spoken to her about already in my life, several things came out that I saw that I was still holding on to, and I had to face them. And to some points, I was really weeping. I was in tears. And the very next day, I was sick. So, we have a very strong immune system. But when our emotions get to us, the immune system goes down, and I think we can get sick, whereas other people just don't. You wonder why some people go into a room where everybody's sick and they leave, they're fine. Other people go in and they get sick. So emotions have a lot to do with our health. And that what you said about how I can't even imagine what it must have been like for Yosef to have gone through that when he saw his brothers, and he had to deal with his own forgiveness and unforgiveness, which is something that I've had to do recently very strongly, to forgive someone from my past who hurt me very deeply. And if I try to keep taking it out on them or to seek revenge in some way, it just doesn't work. So he had to forgive his brothers, and his brothers had to forgive themselves. So it was a very difficult process for them. And they had to be unified. And that whole idea that in order for Israel, to be a strong nation, there has to be reconciliation and reunification of the brothers. And, that's what the Haftorah portion spoke about with Judah and Joseph uniting. And if you look at what's going on in Israel today, for me, I have friends who are in Israel, and they see what's going on the inside. They see the the struggle that's going on in families, and there's so much pain in Israel right now. But at the same time, on the other hand, there's so much inner fighting. There is no unification. There is, and when I looked at, even with what we just passed through Hanukkah, how at Hanukkah the men were fighting then to be able to have the right to observe, to keep the Torah. Torahs were being burnt. Uh, those who wanted to keep the Torah, even though I saw that some of them were keeping um, the oral Torah, but we as a people, it's not about us being prosperous. It's not about being successful as a nation, but about us being unified under one God. And I don't know what it's going to take, many more years ahead, I guess, of some suffering and guilt and whatever it's going to take to get us to turn back to our God. So, I will send your message out um, with the words, so that as people are listening again, you can follow along. It'll make it a little easier. I know if I had to deliver a message in Spanish, you would all call me back and say, "What? What did you say?" So thank you for doing your best and saving me from this, you know, uh, this cold. Anyway, if you want to clarify something, Mauricio, we're very welcome to listen.
Okay, regarding the message, honestly, I believe that uh, God is preparing at certain time of our life, uh, take the opportunities we need to have a story behind. Okay, so during this process, God is constructing our future. Okay, um, and it's more than just a phrase to say. Um, it, it's better to say that in short terms, what I'm living right now is preparing me for something better in the future.
Right.
Okay, so um, I have I have heard many people complaining about their present during this year. People is saying, "Oh, nothing is better. I'm going worse and worse and worse, and this is happening to me, and put of me, and things like that." Okay, because they are focused on their own disgrace in short term. Okay, and this is exactly what happened. I believe for I don't know how many times. Okay, at the time he was Joseph the Viceroy. He had at least 20 years of being, you know, a slave. Okay. And also, you know, there is something that I didn't write there, but uh, Judah, after he sold his brother, then they come back to home and had to give the news, and they knew the news was fake. Okay, uh, so there is a guilt. You feel guilty, okay, about doing that. You don't feel in peace, okay. And then when he saw his father going down and down and down until the moment the presence of God during this time, Jacob did not have any connection with God. Okay, we can read carefully, and after he heard that Joseph was alive, then God come back and spoke to Jacob, okay, because he appeared in a dream. Because Jacob was like, do I have to go to Egypt? Okay, do we have to move there? So God spoke to him. But before Joseph supposedly dead, and then the moment he was in a sorrow, in a deep sorrow, and this is something interesting because Jacob also focused on him. Okay, it's hard. I'm not. I'm pretty sure it is hard to try to understand why the Lord has taken my son. Okay, uh, and then uh, Judah, when he saw everything, and I'm not sure if the brother start to complain to him, hey, you are the responsible of my father's sorrow. Okay, can you imagine that? So he flee. In 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 and then he went to Canaan, he got married, he got three sons, okay, And then among all these things, we see the story of of Judah with Tamar. And then people start to think, why is written that in the middle of this? Why we do not concentrate about Joseph's life? Okay. But honestly, for me, is that the Torah start to describe exactly what is happening between the two leaders and what they had to live to become the leaders of Israel. Okay. So from one side, Joseph need to have a medicine to be humble.
Right.
And also he need to to you know, when he was the favorite son, okay, he used um, to talk about other people to grow. Okay, at jail, he had to to grow in the jail. He had to work hard. Okay, not saying, oh, that prisoner is not good. For example, at the prison, can you imagine if you are doing like that? Probably they will kill you. So he had to have a process, okay, to grow. Besides, he needed to learn, for example, the language of the Egyptians, the customs of the Egyptians, and everything else to save his father and family. But in short terms, I don't think that Joseph could see, oh God, I am on the 16 years of being a slave into a prison that smells bad food, and you know, but I'm sure I'm happy that I will be a viceroy. No, at that moment, he probably thought he would die at the dungeon. Okay, so he didn't, and then he knew how to take the to be brave, okay, and take uh, the you know the opportunities when appears. Why when appears? Well, first, well, he had only one chance, okay, before Paro.
Right.
It says in the Midrashim that in Egypt there were some there were other wise people who could really understand the message of the dream. Okay, but it's interesting this because they said, but nobody wanted to tell the bad news to Paro because the dream was like, oh, something bad is coming. How? They don't know. Okay, but it was more or less clear. Okay, but the point is how we can go before the paro and tell something bad is coming. But the capacity of all these men was just to say bad news. Joseph had one opportunity, and he described what is going to happen in the future. Okay, because God gives his wisdom, and then he added something different. He said to the paro, but now you must need to find out a person who manage all these problems. Okay. Uh, so he showed the problem, but at the same time, he showed the exit, okay, to this problem, the solution. And this is something interesting because today's I have seen many people talking about problems and not talking about solutions in their lives. God wants that we be like Joseph, okay? And then we have, on the other hand, Judah, okay? Judah is the, I would say that is a native leader, okay? He was not the first one. The firstborn was Reuben, but he was the fourth, okay? But among the brothers, he was an he had a natural,
Natural.
yeah, natural leadership, okay? But the problem when you have a leadership and God has given you this kind of gift is that you need how to drive this leadership, because a leader cannot be a complete leader if he's managed by emotions, okay? If I take decisions by emotions, can you imagine, for example, I am the president of the United States, and the first time that the North Korean leader start to speak bad about me and my nation, I will say, okay, press the red button. That what kind of leader is that? Okay, so a leader need to handle his emotions. Okay, and so we start to see that the very first thing he need to deal is the fact that God has put another leaders that I don't have to look at them as a competence for me. Okay, if there are other leaders, oh, be like Moses. Remember what happened with Moses when Joshua start to say, oh, Eldad and Medad, they were prophesying at, at, at some moment. What did Moshe as a leader said?
I wish everyone would prophesy.
Yeah, I wish everyone prophesies. Okay, that is a leader. Okay, but at that moment, also Judah was not capable to accept that God has given to Joseph the leadership too. Okay, Eh, so he needed to deal with that. So God, what deal to this lion? Okay, get out of the flock and then go alone. Okay, he need to be separated. Okay, so he could lead there and deal with himself. Okay, and then during this time, the very first thing is, oh, I have the idea of rejecting Joseph and sell my brother. Okay, and then he went to Tamar. Well, he married with a Canaanite. He had three sons. One of them stood alive, and the other two died. Okay, then he he had to deal with Tamar by accusing her to be a very bad woman. Okay, but the point is that he was not given Shelah as an spouse uh, to marry her. So through Tamar, he had two other sons, uh, Fares and Zerah. Um, and then we read, as we were discussing yesterday, okay, he had another sons, okay. In But the point is, um, he need to deal that a leader sometimes need to judge people. Okay, it's something natural. People is coming to a leader because they don't know how to do it and they need wisdom how to manage some matter. Okay, for example, I receive people every day to say, "Oh, what do we do? Do we have to do this or do that?" Okay, that is a kind of judge to judge something. Okay, not necessarily to say, "Oh, you are guilty, you are innocent." No, it's not the kind. It's to solve problems. Um, but the point is that he was, and this is very hard because some people, some leaders, sometimes by their emotions, they take decisions and they take bad decisions. And because they take bad decisions, everyone who is under their leadership falls. Okay. Because that's why a leader needs to calm down and breathe and try to clear his mind, okay, to take a better decision, okay, to hear everybody. That needs to be a leader. And when in if we real after he was judging Tamar didn't say nothing, okay. He never asked to Tamar, "Mm, can you explain me what happened?" We don't see that. Okay. So he was just looking himself. He needed to grow. And then another thing that is important is empathy. Okay. God had to put Judah in the same position that he put his brothers, that he put his father. He lost two sons. Okay. Jacob not only lost Joseph, he lost Joseph and Judah, two brothers. Then again, eh, his brother, okay, all the brothers eh, lost two brothers. They lost the relationship with Joseph and with Judah when he left his father. Okay, and again, he lost two sons in his son, Aaron's son, and on. So Shelah lost two brothers. Okay, in after at the end, he needed to make all the teshuvah. Why? Because when he went to Egypt, he returned for Benjamin. He appears to his father. Okay, father, I promise you that my brothers need to eat, and so I will coming back with Benjamin again. So they go down to Egypt. Uh, in Egypt, he was Benjamin was accused of being of rob, okay, of thieving. And after that, we can see how Judah approached to Joseph and start to talk about Viceroy. Uh, I can take the position of my brother. I want to be your slave. Okay. So I put my brother as a slave. Now I put in myself as a slave for the Viceroy. He didn't knew he was Joseph. So at that moment, Joseph could see, okay, Judah has changed. The one who sold me, who gave the idea at the pit, had changed. So at that moment, God healed Joseph's heart, okay, and also healed Jehudah's heart. Eh, all the brothers, they were talking about, oh, this is happened to us because we did bad with Joseph, and but the point is that to make a restoration, you need to do teshuvah
What
because
happened?
that, yeah,
What happens if, what would happen if Joseph had seen that his brothers had not admitted, had not had a change of heart? because sometimes we wait for somebody else to change before we can forgive them. That is a very difficult thing. That's something that I'm confronting right now.
Okay, well, it doesn't happen, so I don't have the right answer. But
Right.
but I don't know what will happen. But probably, okay, for me, when you are given an opportunity to certain people, uh, and you at the first, uh, as an option, I would say the first option is to believe in the other person that he has grown and changed. Okay, so I give the opportunity to be with me. But when he start to talk or to give something, and you don't see that he has not changed, then you can have separate uh, path. Example: Jacob and Esau. Okay, they gather, they reunite, but Jacob, what did Jacob see? Probably he see that his brother is still as a very violent man. Okay, he had a sword. He never changed. Okay, he lived by his sword. So that is why Jacob never said goodbye, brother. I'm gonna take this way. No, he only left. Okay, he said, okay, we are okay. I love you. Nothing happened. We are good in good terms right now. So thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah,
That
because
is
he came with
wisdom.
400 men. He didn't
Yeah,
come, you know,
he
just
was not alone. He never said, "Oh, this is Eliphaz." I think he's the firstborn, right? So he never presented his family. Okay, he was only he. So uh, some people, it's obvious that it's not good to have a relation, but the point is uh, that we need to look inside of us if there is something against that person. For example, when I don't know, I would say a name. Okay, I would say there is a Tony who, and this Tony uh, hurt me so much when I was young. Okay, and today I see Tony, and when I hear the word Tony, something is inside of my hair, in my heart. So something is body in me, and that is a negative emotion. That is Joseph. Okay, what he probably felt when he saw his brothers. Okay, but the point is, okay, I need to face probably this person when God allows me. I don't need to go and start to look at internet, Facebook, and whatever media, the name of Tony, the one who hurt me so much. No. But the point is uh, that if Tony, someone, someday appears before me, I need to be prepared to look at him and to say to Tony, oh, uh, how you doing, sir? Probably if you didn't recognize me because I have some white uh,
hair.
beard and whatever, I would say, how you doing, sir? Are you okay? And he started to talk, and probably when if I see he's still a hostile person, I will say, okay, bye bye, nice to meet you, bye, goodbye. That's it. But I don't feel nothing bad about, oh God, send him a storm and a windy
Right.
storm to destroy him. No, that's okay. But if this person shows that he's now different person, more educated, I don't know, I could say to him, oh, I am just Joseph, and I am remember me from from the school. So it could be there is no a right answer for every single case, but it's something that God can lead you at the moment that things are happening. Okay, so but the point is what is inside of me. Okay, if I every time following the example of hearing Tony, okay, I feel something inside of me, anxiety, angry, bitterness, desires to cry. I don't know. So there is a problem inside of me,
Right.
and I need to deal with that. I need to come to the Lord and say, "Oh Lord, I need your help because every time I hear Tony Lopez, okay, I felt very bad and I need to take something and destroy it. Okay,
Right.
so help me with this emotion.
Right.
So, are you living by emotions or are you living by the spirit, the intellect? Okay, the the balance, okay, of the two things. So um, I have heard many people saying, "Oh, I will not forgive that person, never,
Right.
never." Okay, and I will go, for example, people that have problems with brothers or had problems, and it's very common. Don't believe that it's not common. For example, I remember I have an aunt, okay, the his father had an hospital in El Salvador. Okay, they were very rich. Okay, very rich. He was the first pediatrician in El Salvador, so he was the only one. Okay, so everybody comes to him. Okay, so he made a lot of money and he built an hospital. The three girls went out to from El Salvador to study in at the moment he died at 1990, he gave around more than $1 million to every one of them as inheritance. So the problem is that one of them died. Okay, but they 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 chose one administrator, okay, of the family to be, you know, uh, to manage all the money. But this person gave to his, she got married with an uncle, and this man didn't know how to manage, and he lost the money. Okay, $3 million. Okay,
Well,
it's a lot of money.
yeah.
Okay, so when they return back from because the peace come back to El Salvador, they return back to El Salvador. And this the very first time this emotion, oh, I love you, how are you doing, you have been out from El Salvador 10 years, oh, it's nice to look at you. And now the first thing they ask is, where is the money? Okay, and when they had to deal with the fact the money is gone, okay, they hate and they were enemies. And her mother also lost for that. Um, can you imagine? One of them died because in the bitterness she got cancer.
Wow.
Okay, the other one lives in Ireland, I believe, but she forget everyone, and she's alone there. You know what kind of life she has.
Mm.
And the other one that is here, she lost family and lost mother, and they lost everything. So when you have this kind of situations, how to deal? Okay, and obviously, these kind of problems are very common. Some of it's not 1 million, it's $1,000. Okay. And it's a huge problem. Okay. Or $100. Okay. So the point is, do we have to live by emotions or not? Okay. That is the point. Yeah, I wouldn't say, oh, uh, just because also people is, there is something that is not, that is unbalanced. When you say to people, oh, forgive the person that made you lost $1 million, just hug and kiss her. Okay, that is not what the Torah teaches. That the other person needs to do is teshuvah and look how to, okay, I'm gonna sell this property to give you back some money. Okay, that is what is correct. Okay. But 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 the point is, do I need to have cancer because I feel bad?
Right, right. But if Tony
Okay,
hurt you, if Tony hurt you,
yeah,
and you see when he comes back, you see that he's very sick. He's emotionally sick, a lot of anxiety, and he's like, he admits what he does, but he's not sorry, and he's still behaving the same way. And you almost have empathy, but
yeah,
but you don't want to have anything to do with him anymore.
yeah. That's okay.
That's
You
okay.
say, okay, Tony, I will pray for
Mm.
your recovery, your soon recovery. Um,
But everybody around in his family is saying, "Oh, but you need to forgive. You need to go, and you need to."
and you have to say, I already forgive him. Okay, that is something that is true. Okay, you don't feel nothing bad about Tony. You are praying that God recovers his health. Okay, but the point is that it's not healthy to me
Right,
to be close to Tony.
right,
Okay, and that is not that you hate Tony. That is not that you feel something bad against Tony. It's just that you don't match with that person.
right,
Okay. Okay. And that is good. That is right. I mean, uh, there are some people that we don't match. Okay. Sometimes, for example, at a job, we need to sit down with person that we don't match,
right.
and probably we say, oh, I had to do uh, an effort, extra effort to be with this person and try to work with this person.
Yes,
But as soon as you can, fly or move from department. Okay, that is healthy for you. Okay, but the point is that when you see, for example, Tony, you don't feel nothing. Okay, if there is a meeting, for example, if it's your relative, I would say, Tony, your cousin. Okay, and at the end of the year, people wants to gather. Okay, and they invite you to a dinner. You have to go, and you have your daughters and you have your, I don't know, nephews and all the family there. Do I have to go because of Tony or not? You can go. Just do not sit down next to Tony.
right.
Okay. Say, hello, Tony, how you doing? I hope you're good. Okay. And then you go and just talk to anybody else and then live in peace. Okay. The point is that your peace. Remember what in the Torah, I have seen many this expression, how is your peace? That is the question that Ur asked to Moshe. How is your peace, Moses?
Right.
Okay. He never say, how you doing, Moses? No. How is your shalom? Okay. If your shalom is good, no problem.
Yeah, he
Okay.
makes a covenant of shalom with us.
Yeah. but not as Pinchas. Okay.
No, no. Although you sometimes feel it.
Yeah, but that is, yeah, there are people who, sometimes every Gregorian calendar year we make some goals as family. And one of the goals is, oh God, please make me a person who can rest more, okay? Because I always that all the time I'm busy, okay? And the problem is that to be busy sometimes becomes like a drug to you, okay?
Right.
You
Yes.
need to do something, and you cannot be quiet, okay?
Yes.
That is me. So, but there are some people that ask, oh God, please makes me that I can comprehend more people, okay, that I can love Tony. But sometimes God will not send you a renovated, a renewed Tony. Probably He will send you a harder Tony to you, okay, because you ask to God to deal with your problem. And when you deal with your problem and you heal yourself, then you can deal with Tony in a different way. Okay. And that is something that I think, in this kind of relations, there is not a right answer. Okay. But the right answer is your heart feel shalom when you see that person or not? Okay.
Mhm.
And when you hear that voice, when you hear the tone is coming, how is your heart? Do you feel shalom? That it means that you it's not that you ignore Tony. Okay. You can see Tony, you can hear Tony, you can be with Tony in a place, but you don't feel like, anger against him. That is the point.
Right.
So,
Yes.
uh, so the question is, how is your shalom?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I think it's interesting what you're both talking about, because I remember somebody in the congregation um, couldn't forgive another person because of how they were. But I really think 100% of forgiveness is all on us. And what you say is if we don't wish them evil, and if we meet them and we feel shalom, but that's a big thing. We really have to pray to God, because God says vengeance is mine. How often have I felt like fantasizing about that other misfortune happening on somebody I didn't like? But even then, it says that it's all on me. Forgiveness has nothing to do with the other person. I would say zero, really. If you really forgive another person, it's not conditioned. It's not conditional. It's not like I'll forgive them if they forgive me, because it's about us. And we have to deal with the anger or the vengeance, which means we have to work on ourselves. We have to pray and ask God to help us with that. Because I know so many times whether at work or whatever in my life, how I've been really angry and I'm wishing bad on that. I hope that person gets fired tomorrow or whatever, you know. But really, it's on us. Or else it's not really forgiveness. If everything's conditional, how is that forgiveness? If
Yeah,
it
but
has
there's
to do with
forgiveness and then
what's
continue.
this?
There's forgiveness and then continuing the relationship with that person.
But that's a different story. I agree with
Yeah.
you, Mauricio. You don't have to see that person.
Right.
And if you do, just be polite and go on with your life. I don't think it has anything to do with the other person. You don't have to seeing them has nothing to do. It's like it's not a good fit, or they have to work on their life. But in the meantime, if you're carrying, and I speak about myself, if I'm carrying that kind of desire for vengeance or anger, then it's me who's going to get sick. It's not the other. I have to deal with
Right.
my relationship with God. And I remember a rabbi was talking to this person and saying, you know, this person was saying, I can't forgive that person because of this or because of that. And they were concerned about the other person, and it's really not to do with the other person.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's easy. It's not easy at all, but it's not really to do with the other person.
Right.
I
And
don't.
that's
Yeah,
what God
you
comes
have
in.
to choose. You have to choose to have shalom in you.
Right.
At the moment you realize I want to live in shalom, then probably you will change your mind against the other person, because you will see that the problem is not that person, the problem is me. Okay.
Yeah, but that's exactly.
Okay. uh, Obviously, for example, there are some people that are very dangerous, okay, because they have some problems in their minds, okay, and and probably, um, if they attack you, obviously you need to call the police, okay. For example, okay, if this person is a violent person and have guns and whatever, you need to survive, okay. You will not say, oh, I feel shalom every time I look at that person, okay.
Right.
No, you need to put a distance between you, and there is uh obviously some laws that protect you in and you know that probably they have to go, okay. But in general terms, is not that kind of relationship we have. That is very extreme. Okay, I would never say that it's not possible, but most of the relationships are people who are very toxic. Okay, and that is something that I decided not to have close to me toxic persons, toxic relationships. Okay, I do not desire something bad to that person, but I decided not to have a relationship. I can say hello, I can say goodbye, I can look at that person when she is very sick and probably nobody is caring about him or her. I can go in and bring some food and whatever once in a while. So, but I decided not to have a deep relationship that is not healthy, neither for you or neither for that person. So there is a great answer.
That's excellent. Thank you. Yes. That helped me work things through in the situation in my own life. Thank you for that, Mauricio. Does anybody else have any input in this? Because we all go through things like this in our lives, and we need to speak things through with people who have their basis of the Torah, because to me, it's ultimate truth, and ultimate truth lies in our Torah. Anyway, I want to thank you again, Mauricio, for the message. Oh, who's that? Oh my goodness.
I can't believe
Okay,
how cute that dog is.
that
What kind
is
of dog is
Suki.
that?
That's Suki.
Uh,
Ah,
that is Suki, and she is a schnauzer.
a
You
Oh,
schnauzer.
know?
can I see her face
Yeah.
again? Oh my God, she's so cute.
Hello.
Suki.
She is 6 months, okay, but
Wow.
she's uh very menace, is the word, menace, that is destroying everything, you
Oh
know.
yeah. Oh my
What
goodness.
did you say? She's
A
very what?
menace. She's into everything.
Yeah, she
Jimenez?
is,
A menace.
yeah,
Oh, a
a
menace.
menace like Dennis, okay.
Menace to
Menace,
menace.
menace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What-
it's
She
like
has to
that.
be trained.
Yeah, no, she's very smart. She's really smart. Uh, and Kiara, the other that is French poodle, we decided to have two because when we observe that when it's a dog that is alone and everybody is out of the house all the day, okay, they stress too much.
Yeah.
Right.
So they need to have someone to be with.
Well, that's
So
cute.
and so they play together, and they are running around. But the point that the two of them together are like Shimeon and Levi. Okay, destroying everything.
Double trouble.
Yeah, double trouble. Yeah. So
Oh my goodness.
Face is so cute.
You see, Rhonda, you have to get another dog.
No, thank you.
We'll have two together. Oh my goodness.
does-
It's
Doesn't-
enough training one.
Yes, I know. Well, we have enough
part
trouble training
something else?
ourselves.
Oh, sorry. Is she part, she's pure Schnauzer? She looks like she's part terrier, something else, no?
she is not really pure because we don't know exactly his father. Okay. Her
She's so
the
cute.
mother is a Schnauzer pure, with a degree. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, but they said one day she leaves the house. She get out from house and nobody knew.
Uh-oh.
When we discover, there were 3 dogs there. So I don't know who's the father. Okay.
Like Lady in
Because
the
her
Tramp.
ears are not like a,
The
her
idea
ears
Trump.
are like this. That's not like
Yeah.
a Schnauzer. She's so cute.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's very cute. And she is if someone is very peaceful dog, she's the one because people enters and just start to move the tail, and then she start to try to hug everybody, and she's very she's amazing. Instead, Kiara is protector. She start uh, to to
Bark.
say what, yeah,
Yeah.
to bark everybody, but she's a friend. I think if someone wants to stall in our house, she start to move the tail.
She'll show them where she'll show them where
Yeah.
everything is.
Yeah, yeah. Please take this television here.
That's great. Well, Rhonda,
Yeah.
we hope that your dog is going to be well, that Star will be fine. And I wish everybody, thank you again, Mauricio, and we wish everybody Shabbat Shalom. If anybody is sick, please get well quickly. Deal with your emotions, learn how to forgive, but you don't have to be in a relationship with somebody who is toxic. And that's a very, very good lesson. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Bye.
Shalom, shalom.